Hi guys, good evening to you. Here I am, as every Monday and Wednesday. So, waiting for you to come. Hi, how are you? Akash. Hi, how are you? So, let's see, what is this? I got a message. Well, I will read the message after. Hi everybody. Guru, Samdin, Marsing, Abdul, Aditya. Wow, everybody's coming. All right, that's cool. That's very well. You know, yesterday I went to make my second day of full lecture day in transportation design at ISD Rubica Design School in Valenciennes, here in France, and it was pretty nice. Hi Charlie, buongiorno, and ciao Siddharth. Hi Ray. Hi Krishna. Good evening. Good evening. So it was pretty nice to spend this second day with the students at the ISD. We sketched a lot for 5 hours. So it was something. We had a few presentations just to show the progress we were making, and everybody was very satisfied at the end. It was a long day. Woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, left at 6:30. I was there around 10 o'clock, and then at 5:30 in the afternoon I finished and I drove back with my car, and around 9 o'clock in the evening I was home, very tired but very happy. Okay, so today, hi Soslan. Charlie, he's writing something. Let's read. Where are you based? Think I told you was in Paris few days. Yeah, I guess you did. I am close to Paris. I'm close to Versailles. Versailles, not too far from Renault Techno Center, the design center we have. Yeah, Marcin, I was driving my car to go over there and come back, of course. I am always with my car. I don't like public transportation. Ciao, Lydia. Hey, guys, we have a nice girl that is following us for the first time, that is also very passionate about car design. It's Lydia. So today we're gonna make some very nice sketches, hoping that everybody can learn a little bit out of it. No, math is not required to get into design car. We are not engineers, we are designers. Who cares about math? What you study in college is enough. Sir, will you visit Frankfurt? Maybe, I don't know, Ray. Maybe Frankfurt. I'm not sure. For 2 years, I'm not going because I didn't go because I had other type of trips to make. I was in India, for example, for the Design Academy in India. So before we start, don't forget, okay, that we have now the Facebook page, Sketching Design Academy, all right? And put your like. Now I'm gonna change the position of my telephone camera, and we're gonna start sketching something, all right? So we are 17. It's a good number. Be careful. So I am preparing on my support. Let's see if it works fine. As usually, I take away the. So any other Renault are very yes, Renault. The Renault Talisman is a very comfortable car. Yes, I have the chance to ride one. So take off my glasses and I take my favorite blue pencil. So don't forget, soft Faber-Castell pencil, okay? This is the most important tool. Soft Faber-Castell color pencil, light, dark blue, okay? Helio blue, reddish, it's called. All right, although you can use also black, but I like much more the feeling of the blue on the paper and also the type of color that comes out. Okay, so now for those that probably do not follow me a lot, don't forget always, okay, to have a lot of paper under your clean paper on which we're gonna draw. Why? Because we want to make sure that we have a nice soft surface so that the line quality with a super sharp pencil will be really nice. Exactly, for the line quality. Okay, so let's see, what the hell are we gonna do today? We did already so many. Today is the 27th, okay? 27th live tutorial. That's very nice. It's starting to become a real series, almost like an American soap opera, I would say. All right, so let's make our ground line very light. You see, very light. Check. I'm trying to be very gentle with the paper. I don't want to destroy the paper. Very light, okay? And I put my wheels, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 wheels, okay? Then from the center of my wheels, all right? I know that it's kind of light, but don't worry, I will look at that, okay? So you can see the center of my wheels. I'm using the wheel as, of course, our size reference, right? And I just make a straight line between those 2 points, okay? I'm building up my references, okay? To make sure that my proportions will be good. And then from this side view, we're gonna make it into a 3/4 front view. Just like magic. What's gonna be for season finale? Hey, Marcin, I don't know. I had to write it, okay? It could be a city car, but if I make only 2, okay, I think that now should work. Yeah, now it's working. We had to be patient, guys. You know that with YouTube sometimes this stuff happens. Okay, now it's working. Now it's working. Give me a yes to tell me that it's working. I soon yes back. Okay, good. Thanks, Lydia. All right, so I put my line here, and then I have my wheel, okay, which is this one, and the other one is this one. And now I'm starting to make the wheels a little bit stronger. Then I have the thickness of my wheel, okay, of this one, all right? And because I want to make a car that is turning like this, okay, like that, on the same plane, what I will do, I will take the wheel on the other side and I will push them forward so that I will construct my base of my perspective. Hi, Vatsal. Welcome back. If you have paper or pencil, start sketching. So I put my back wheel around this area in the back, okay? And this one, it's here, okay? So this space and this space, okay? This is the distance between the left wheels and the right wheels in perspective, okay? So now I'm putting a little bit of shadow, okay? And then you will see much better what I'm trying to do. Okay, so can you see? This is our base. This is the base of our drawing. So now you can see the car is turning, okay? Okay, so one thing very important, just to understand what we're doing. This line that I put here, this is the rocker panel of the car, the last part of the car. But this line down here, the below line, this is the shadow of the car in perspective of the base of the car, okay? It's everything, it's a little bit like a side view when we see the base a little bit a little bit of depth in 3D, okay? So because it's a sketch, we can exaggerate, okay? We can make it really thick. Because when we do sketches, of course, we must exaggerate a little bit things, unless they will never look believable. Okay, so now I have my base. Now what do I do? Now we have to design a center section that it's rocker panel from the other side that we see. Yes, Lydia, this is exactly the other side, okay? Because it is in perspective, it's a little bit tilted, okay? Just a little bit. That gives us the opportunity to have a feeling of a three-dimensional perspective. All right, so I did again my nice and sharp pencil, all right? And now I do another thing. I'll do the wheel well, okay? This is still a reference. It's not exactly the design of my wheel well, but this is important for proportion, okay? So it's gonna be basically like that. Look, can you see? So that space is gonna be all black because inside we have suspension. And this is important because this is giving me exactly the proportion of my side fenders. You know, how high is my side fender before the glass, and how high it's in the front before the hood. So those things are important to understand where we are. Now, this is my three important sections in the front, okay? You see, the right side, the center section, and the left side, all right? So if I make a little shape like that here, okay? So right, center, left. You understand? And that's what we have here, right, center, and left. Now, we have this one, okay? This one, and this one. And then when we put this all together, we have a car with the wheels. And this is what we have to do now. In general, the easiest way is that I have an idea of a design. No, I have I don't know, a side view here, okay? Same proportion, all right? I'll do very quick, okay? And I want to do something that is, I don't know, like this, okay? Okay, so if I want to do something like that, then this section here is this one, all right? So I take that section and I try to reproduce it here, thinking that that section is in perspective. So it's a little bit turned. This means that the back part will be a little bit shrink down, okay, a little bit shorter, and the front part will be a little bit longer because of the perspective. All right, so, well, now let's try, because that's the tricky part when we start getting to that. All right, so let's imagine so I'm trying to think with my creativity, okay? So if you are sketching, do the same thing. Do what you like to do. And then we can always modify. Don't forget that, okay? Okay, so I'm trying to do something with a really strong proportions, huh? Very, a little bit BMW like, right? You can even imagine I put few details, okay? Now I'm trying to put all the sections, okay? Also the one on the side, okay? Very light because I still am not sure about this design. So for the moment, I just want to check my proportions, okay? The attitude of the shape, okay? All right, so first thing I see is that my wheels are small. So I make my wheels a little bit bigger, all right? And of course, now that I have my lines, I can sketch again my wheel well to make sure that my proportions are correct. Then I just change my rocker panel here and I'm bringing a little bit up. It looked a little bit too low. Okay. And then, of course, I'm gonna start sculpting a little bit on the side, just a little bit. Then I change the center line because I want that section to be a little bit more in the front so that my windshield will be a little bit more rounded, okay? Is it an angle 45 degree with the wheels to make the A pillar? To be honest, Lydia, I don't know. I just do it by eyes. You see, I show you the three sections. This is the first one, which looks pretty good. This one is the second one. And the center one, the center, it's this one. Now, when I put those together, that's my windshield. You see? Yeah, it's like a cross sedan. Yeah, it's the way you feel. I mean, of course, it's easier when you do a lot of sketching for many years. You know how you control that. In your case, guys and girls, you have to get used to it. So that's why I say once you repeat this methodology, the more you do, the easiest it's gonna become. You know, maybe this one should be a little bit backward, like this. Okay, but anyway, now one thing I do to make sure that I can control what I'm doing in terms of proportion, but also in terms of perspective. So I turn it, all right, and I try to see it under against the light. You see, I'm putting against the light that I have here on top of my nose, and I try to check if everything looks nice. And to be honest, it's not so bad. So I was looking through here in the back, and if I find something that is not looking good, I turn and I know where to fix. All right, so now there is one thing I don't like. Is this part here, and we have to change it because we have to make it more sexy. The rest it's nice, aggressive, elegant, good proportions, so why not? But that front is not nice. So I have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's see if it's going to work. So I'm trying to define a little bit better. And I want to do something in the front which is not BMW, but it's gonna be a sort of a alpha, okay? Now, I don't know if I'm able to do it because I never sketched alphas, okay? But we can try to do something interesting in terms of how to integrate the front alpha scudo, okay? So let me show you what I'm doing. Can you see this detail here? I think I like this, the fact that this scudo it's coming inside this front wing with those holes on the side where the air can go inside. It's starting to look something interesting. Then we can use another shape here to make the side mustache typical of the alpha look. So that's my idea. I don't know. I have it in my head, but we have to sketch it to understand. 13V4. What a name. You are a mathematician, for sure. How do you make the depth of the car by fender so that the wheels on that side of the fender is closer to us? I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. You have to rewrite your question in a little easier way. Yeah, looking like an Alfa Romeo. So now another thing important, as we said, for Alfa Romeo are those side mustache, okay? And we're gonna do them this way. Now, because it's a perspective, I put my line here and I try to guess on the other side between this space how can I put that point which is a little bit less than a half. So if here it's half, that point should be here. You see? And this one is very close. So let's try, let's see if it works. You see? It looks okay. Looks okay in perspective. So we have this wing that is making the tie between the front scudo, the side mustache. Now the only thing it's missing is how we're gonna model this upper area to have a real nice front alpha face. All right, I'm thinking about. Now it's too square, it's not nice, it's old. So we gotta make that a little bit softer. So let me see if this could be something nice. I don't know. So what do you think? Does it look mean? I don't know. Maybe the light are a little bit too square, too big. It would make a car look more aesthetic. Witty, Mr. Witty Strings. I mean, you asked me a question. How can I answer to your question like that? It's your creativity, your talent. It is about your feeling. It is your sensibility. Uh, I don't know. I do things that for me are pretty, but maybe a colleague of mine who is a designer with my same experience, he comes, he looks at it and say, "Wow, this looks like shit." It's possible. So the question is, how much do you like what you're doing? Yeah, and be very critical. You know, if there are things that it's not very convincing, then you have to correct. Let's go back to Mr. Mathematics. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Don't worry. Now the fender look flat on the side panel. Make it stand like a... Ah, you mean here? Well, don't worry, because here I will make the shading later. And then, all right, very good. I understand now. Now I'm working on this. Once I have the design here, I will start going back, and then we will take care about the modeling of all this area. Okay? But before I do that, I really want to understand what face has this car, that what type of inspiration can give me in order to get some nice and cohesive development. All right? Okay, so let's go back here. Now you can see that while I'm doing my sketch, I'm also working on the line weight. You see, my line weight sometimes is dark, sometimes it's very light. Some of my sketchy line, we are starting not to see them anymore. And that's nice, because that's exactly what we want. And then I think we could do something. I'm making a little detail here, which is an event, all right? Just under the light, you see? And maybe we can even imagine that this goes until here. So I modify. You see, now it looks even better. I think that now it's looking better. You're welcome, Mr. 3V4 Art. Do you prefer using black or blue? I prefer to use blue, the blue pencil. The blue, it's the, already I like really a lot the color. Okay. Okay, now that we did this, now I'm gonna start doing what our friend was looking for, which means a little bit I'm starting to understand, to imagine this fender, okay? So first of all, I want this belt line to be very, very high as Alfa Romeo R, usually. And then we're gonna make it like that, okay? That's typical of Alfa. And then we're gonna do this. So we're gonna make the C-pillar. We're gonna make it really look like a coupe, even if it's a four-door. You see, I made this changement here, and this change is really looking good. This one is looking good. We have to admit that that detail is nice. Yeah, Aditya Munda, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reinterpret a sort of Alfa Romeo. Now, I'm sure that Alfa will never do this, but it's just the feeling, okay, what it counts. All right, so okay, and now we're gonna do the side. So if this is my wheel well, let's make our line here, so that this is every time we know how a detail or something has to be done, let's just do it because we are sure. And we do it well. You see? So that I don't waste too much time in thinking how I can do it. Once it's finished, I know that it's gonna be a lot easier to complete the rest of our design. You see? Now we have the whole outline. Here we can make a sort of rear light indication, okay? And now we have to make little Hofmeister kink in the back. Yeah, this part, yes. So now this one I would do it this way, this type of classical, typical, you know, detail on the rock panel. This is very nice, very elegant. The good thing of this is that makes the car look very long, so it stretches visually. It's stretching visually, and that's nice. Okay, so so here I'm making the classical detail that we find on all those cars of a certain type of level, like also Jaguar. So it's a character line, okay? You can see it is a character line. It starts from here. It generates this detail that is very Jaguar, and then the two sections coming until this point, and they all go to one point. So this is control of a design element that makes sense. All right? So now I just put a little bit of lines just to make sure that we understand which is our reflection on the side cylinder, right? And now that I did that, I can put a nice reflection on my glass. Okay. Okay, so now we have our line work done. We got a sort of a design, maybe it's a little bit complicated in front. Now we have to apply some shading so that we understand a little bit better. We can create a three-dimensional effect with our sketch. We can also inject a nice focal point, which is very important to sell our idea. And at the end, we can make and take a very nice picture. Yes, like Aston Martin details, this one, yeah, sure. Would you say that now that everything is very coupe GT oriented, it's hard to design a classic limousine with dropping? Yeah, it's true. I agree with you. It's today some sketches of a time like this, you know, something like that. It's kind of complicated to find. Today we are a little bit more on this type of attitude, but I think it's gonna last for a while, and after you will see that we will move to something else. Okay, so first of all, what is dark, let's make it dark. All right, so that we start understanding a little bit better. You see, now that we did the dark part, it's easier to understand. It is easier to understand. Okay, and of course, I'll do a little quick graphics. Let's see if I can do something that looks a little bit alpha. All right, well, like that is not so bad. Hey, Naga, don't worry if you're late. You can see what we're doing now, and then later on you can go and see the beginning once that the video is online on the page. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply the shading with my pencil. So I'm not able to understand which company's concept you sketch. Ayush, we are trying to do something that looks like an Alfa, okay, Alfa Romeo, but we don't have to make a real Alfa, okay? Just a feeling, all right? So it's not so important. What is more important is that the overall sketch, the technique, and everything we're doing together, all right? Okay, so let's start. Of course, I always do a little bit of my tire detail because it's fun. I like it. I remember since I was a student, I used to do a lot. This at that time it was very nice to do it. Okay, so Now, don't forget that we are doing a sketch, okay? So we don't have to be very precise. We don't want to be very precise. We want just to be credible. And what I'm doing, as you remember, as I say always, I'm creating my focal point in this area. So now you will see that I make really, really dark area here, okay? And then I will start shading it because I want to do a shading from dark to light. Can you see? So now we have a little detail here that looks really nice and fresh. We have our shading that goes from dark to light. And this is exactly what is driving us to create our focal point, which is going to be around this front corner spot. All right? Okay, so once again, I always to keep my pencil nice and sharp to make sure that I don't get problems with my line quality. And now let's do a little bit this. Okay, now I did the holes here, and now I'm going to give a little bit of shading to the 3D inside. Those are like a spoon, okay? Like a spoon. So that's what I'm trying to do now. According to the light is coming from here. So this is in shadow, this is light. Here it's gonna be like that. Light is coming from here. This one is light. And this one is in shadow. Now, because this section here is also a little bit empty, okay? Also here we have light here and a little bit of shadow on the top because the section is like this, okay? With the holes here. So the light is coming from here, light, dark. You understand? You get it, right? This is a theory of reflections. Important. Don't ever forget. Okay, so let's give a little bit of shading here to show that this is a little bit in shadow. Just a little bit in shadow. And now I'm going a little bit more in detail to make sure that we can really read what I'm talking about. Okay, so Now, can you see the three-dimensional effect of that tire and that wheel? Okay, so that's exactly a shading following the three-dimensional sections that we thought, and the lights coming from the top. So what is in shadow, what is capturing the light. Okay, now let's move on. So let's start doing our shading for the reflections of the side. Okay, so once again, this part is a little bit in shadow, so it's going to be a little bit darker. Here we have a classical double line that shows there is a reflection of some objects here reflecting inside. And then once we do that, we just do a little bit of shading, because that's how in reality it would be. From dark to light. And then on top, we just put our okay, so can you see that reflection on the side fender? Now we understand also a little bit of the section of that fender. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you very much. So this line, we have to clean it up because it's not really beautiful. So we're gonna do like that. You see, I'm making a little bit more around. And it is a little bit small, so I just make it a little bit bigger, wider. You see? And it's gonna look much, much better in terms of proportions. You see? It looks better now. It's better proportion. Mr. Limb, I always have trouble with knowing where to put contour lines. Do you have any advice? Well, as I said the other time, Limb, you have to practice a lot of sketching. That's the only way. And see also how everybody like me make the sketches to use the line weight and show this three-dimensional effect of the lines. The line weight like this, you see dark, light, is to show that the line is a three-dimensional element of the sketch. It's not just a line. And as Ray from Taiwan is saying it's a practice, I agree. It's just practicing it. If you see my early sketches when I was very young, I was not able to do that, of course. Not at all. But just like sketching a lot, it came out. Now let's do, you know what, I have an idea. I'm going to show you. Now let's see if you agree or not, okay? I don't like this straight line like that, okay? I don't. So here I want to create something different, okay? I make a correction, because even though we sketch a lot, we can still make a correction. And I will try to do it. Let's see if you like it. Did you see? Do you see? I made it round and looks more poetical. It looks more sexy to me. Any suggestions for correct brand materials, pencil, pens, etc., proper line, weight, and colors? Wow, wow, oh, Rosa! Any suggestions? You have 27 videos about that. So, this is a Faber-Castell soft blue color, okay? And this is, to me, it's one of the best. So you can try to use that already. All right, so another thing we have to do here, it's the shadow here, because this is in shadow. Okay. Okay, now we continue, all right? And we're gonna do a little bit of the front windshield, okay? So I just want to make the reflection of our windshield, all right? So when I went to the ISD Rubica school, I saw a beautiful sketch. It was really fantastic, but the guy that made the sketch in three-quarter front view, he made the classical mistake of those that do not understand how sections work on different basic shapes. So as you know, this is a cylinder, cylinder, cylinder. This is a conic part. So if you make a reflection here like this, because it's a horizontal cylinder, you cannot have that reflection that goes across like this with the little triangle here on top of the windshield. That's a big mistake. But this is the reflection, all right? So I explained to him. And don't forget, that's a big mistake. Now I'm making the shading, okay, to make that windshield look like it's really turning and really shiny. Okay, so can you see it? Now, don't forget, when we make an object that has to look shiny, we always the contrast, dark, light, and then shading to dark. And the value tone of this dark has to be the same tone, value tone, of the darkest area of the surface, okay? Yeah, that mistake is done by people that I call them the Photoshop people. Because they went to school, and in school, some schools are not coming back to the basics. And that's the biggest mistake that they make. Probably they don't come to the basics. You have to understand the shape. You must understand the shape. If you don't, how can you model? You cannot. Okay, now we are approaching to the area that we're gonna leave it a little bit lighter, because the focal point, once again, it's here, okay? Okay, so now let's do it here. So first of all, I'll do the reflection, okay, on the side glass. And I'll do it again here just to make sure that the beginning it's darker. And after I'll let it go. Look. So I take the line, I clean up the line, okay? You see? Look, that is our reflection. Now you can see that here I was dark, but here I'm not. Because I really want to make a dark light with a very nice shading, all right? Nothing that has to be like dark spot here and everything light. Has to be very well done, just like here, dark, light, dark. And it's the same thing, you see? Like the bottom here. You have to control the shade. And now let's do the top. Okay. That's it. Finished. And now we're gonna do this part, the side. First of all, I make a very light base color, okay? Because this is gonna be darker. So I make this light because it's my base. All right? Then I will start, now I'm starting to think how I'm gonna do this. You see, those are sort of reflections. And now I go and I start from here. It's like modeling. Look what I do. I'm very light with my pressure. I don't pressure too much. So now you can see how I made the modeling of this section. You see, I put the line around my wheel well, okay? It's starting from here, makes the reflection because it's the line that separates the two surfaces, all right? So this is inside, this is outside. And that's why my shading is like that. This is more in shadow. And this part, it's coming outside the back of the car. That's why it's lighter. It's picking up a little bit of the light. Can you see it? Who asked for the side mirrors? Mr. Math, 1-3 versus 4T. No side mirrors. Come on, man. Okay. All right, so Okay, now let me complete the bottom part here, because here we don't have to forget, we still have this part. And also here I will do the same thing. I will try to shade it a little bit lighter. Okay, so here we go. Look, but to be honest, guys, rear view mirrors, we are trying to take them away. Yeah, I mean every concept car, every modern concept, the rear view mirrors, it's something that we really don't care anymore. We have cameras, and we have a new type of interior displays that will show what we see through the cameras. And there are a lot of companies, electronic companies, they are just doing it. They are just working on this. So, but we're still missing a little detail here. I think we're gonna make it here. I make a little bit of detail for the front light. You see? Now it looks better like that. But we didn't finish yet, because what I think we should do now is a little bit of highlights. What I want to do also, make a sort of background. Look, I leave a white line here, okay? So that we can understand the limit of the car, or the front hood, okay? And then I want to do a background a little bit kind of dark, of course, it's gonna be dark, but not really too precise, okay? Let's try to do something a little bit sort of artistic. I want to see if I can hide a mistake I made. Now it's hidden, so we don't see it anymore. Little tricks, you know, when we make a mistake we don't know how to do. I'm not gonna redo the sketch. I'm just trying to fix the mistake. But we gotta do this detail well, unless it's gonna look like we are fixing a mistake. So we gotta play smart. Now I take my ruler and I try to control that shape, okay? I want to make sure that that shape, it looks nice. So to look nice, all the straight lines must be parallel to the border, okay? So this one is like that. I'm just cleaning up. I'm just cleaning up. You see, now it looks better. You see this little detail here. Look how nice. This little white line coming down. It really makes our shape read really, really well. Lydia, the mistake was here. I forgot that here the section, it's coming down like this. And here was still the old section that I made with an undercut. So I had these little things popping out. And what I want to do, I want to erase this. And that's what I did. Now this part has to be a little bit darker. This one. Yeah, like that is better. And it's nice with this pencil, because this pencil is very oily. So you can model. This is like modeling, you see? Okay. Now there is only one thing we have to do, just a side section, okay? So that we can understand a little bit better the 3D of the car. Here I just want to make this line a little bit better. Okay, this one is like nice. Like that, okay? And I take my, all right, like this. Now I'm gonna treat that line, okay? I'm not gonna leave it like that. You see? Look, it looks nice. Now we can understand the section. Now we can see the side 3D. And the last, very, very last thing that we have to do, of course, our highlights. Everybody's happy now. Everybody's gonna be happy now. So, okay, so when we put the highlights, don't forget what I say all the time, okay? If this is our focal point, we're gonna put the highlights here and not here or here. We can just add a couple to make sure that we read better everything, but we have to control it, unless it's gonna become a mess, and we don't want a mess. So first one is here on the glass. Ellipses, okay? Those are ellipses. Second one here. Second. I am always trying to make always to make nice controlled little ellipses. And of course we have some big ones and very small ones, because also the highlight has its how can I say, its three-dimensional and depth effect. Okay, now on the light here, so it's gonna look like ice, right? That's it. I finished the last one here because we know that this detail, very small one. Okay, just wait that I go and clean up my brush. I have to clean up the brush unless I cannot use it. Hey guys, it looks good, huh? Now I'm standing up. I sit from far. It's not so bad. Okay. So now I can take my favorite felt tip pen. Today is 6/6/18. So I hope that you like it. I hope that you liked what we did today. All right? And there is always opportunity to make it better, okay? But most important thing, we must know when we stop, unless we make a big mess out of it. Okay? So I'm going to make a nice picture of this. Of course, I'm gonna put it on Instagram profile and our new Facebook page. All right? So what is a question not regarding this sketch, but automotive design? Can you get a job in automotive design if you study product design but focus more, work on more automotive oriented portfolio? My answer is yes, but it's gonna happen only if your portfolio is very competitive, which means it has to be the same level or a very good car design student, unless it's not gonna happen. Ciao Ray, thank you for being with us, and say hello to Taiwan. Thank you, Sidar, thank you to everybody. Wait, that I'm gonna put, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna take the famous camera, which is my telephone. All right. Okay, so wait, my glasses. So this is what we have done. That's not bad, huh? I think that this is probably one of our best. What do you think? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here because you are here, all right? So, next time it's going to be Monday, right? Monday, same time. If you want to buy me a beer, look, I'm going to write to you how you can do it, all right? Wait. So this is my email, and if you want to buy me a beer, PayPal, all right? Whatever you want, it's fine. I'm happy, all right? So once again, this is what we've done today. I don't know if Lydia is still with us. I really hope that for her, as first time was nice, that she could get some good information. Okay, you are there. Great. All right. So for those that want to make their own sketches based on this sketching live of today, don't forget Luciano Bove Review, the hashtag Luciano Bove Review. I'm gonna see your work, all right? And voila, that's it. Okay, I had fun, all right? So, ciao guys, bye girls, see you Monday. Share the video if you like it, okay? If you like the video, share it. It's gonna help us to grow, right? Today we were 22, not bad. Grazie mille. Ciao guys. Ciao. See you. Bye.